to another episode of the Nashville Scoop. I'm Chris McKenna, and Craig Candage won't be with us today. He's actually at a charity golf event, so I have a bit of a special guest for everybody. I have my friend Joe Mayer. Him and me have been friends for, I don't know, about 70 years, it feels like. So
It definitely feels like it.
yeah, so say hi, Joe.
Hey, everybody.
So me and Joe go all the way back to high school. It's probably one of my oldest friends. And like I had sort of teased last week in our episode, had a bachelor party this past weekend, and it was actually Joe's bachelor party. So he'll be getting married in about a month. So Joe, what did you think about Nashville? What were your first impressions? You'd never been here before, right?
Right. Never been. And just based on what I've heard from other people and whatnot, I had pretty high expectations and did not disappoint in the least, that's for sure.
It's safe to say those expectations were met.
Yeah. Yeah, and then some.
Well, that's good. So what we're gonna kind of do is we'll run everybody, just like a really quick glimpse into what I guess I don't know. I don't want to say a typical bachelor party weekend would look like, but at least that's what ours was. So it started out. I mean, basically your entire crew, almost everybody is from the Connecticut area. Almost everybody's from New
Right.
England, at least. I think we had one friend came from Chicago, right? And everybody else is
Right.
pretty much out of there.
Yep.
So your guys' week started on Thursday, and almost everybody boarded a plane in Hartford. What airline did you take?
We took Breeze Airways.
Yeah, how was that? I've never even heard of it before. I looked it up afterwards. It's about what, $7 for a round trip?
Yes, yeah, right about that. Throwing taxes and it was like seven and a quarter. Uh but yeah, so in an effort, being a destination uh kind of event, I wanted to keep options light and was able to find an inexpensive breeze flight that fit everybody's budget. So I was actually really pleasantly surprised. I fly quite a bit for work and whatnot, so I didn't really have high expectations on the flight at all, and the flight attendants really made it, and the pilot as well, actually. Flight attendants were really feeding off of the energy of the group, which was pretty high and excited. So they really made the flight just that much better. And we made a name to ourselves to the point where one of them remembered us on the return flight and just kind of rolled his eyes when he saw us. Like, oh man, you guys are back.
Oh,
So
jeez. That's
so
good.
really cool, really cool staff that they have. You don't get a lot of the amenities. They don't have a customer service line. Changing flights can be a little bit of a challenge, but if you're a little tech savvy and don't mind doing everything through their app, I would definitely recommend them. I'd use them again.
Nice. Well,
Yeah.
that's good. I was a little worried you guys weren't even going to make it here. I'd never heard of the airline, so as long as you guys landed, that was good. So, but yeah. So how many bachelorette parties were on the plane?
There were three on ours.
Yeah, that's pretty typical. I mean, basically all summer long, spring, fall. I mean, everybody that's flying down here, you're bound to see 1 to 3 bachelorette parties, I'd say, on every single flight into Nashville. So you guys made it in. We went and we actually booked 2 condos downtown. It was on Third Ave. They were side by side condos. Slept everybody. So all in all, we had, I think it was what, 10 people at the most.
Yep.
Yep. So 10 people. We went 5 and 5. But yeah, the condo was great. It was a perfect location, being right there on Third. We were a block away from, or 2 blocks away from Broadway. So that
Yep.
was perfect. So what I thought was probably the best way to start out a long bachelor party weekend that we knew was going to get a little crazy. I decided, if anybody listened to last week's episode, the red phone booth was a pretty good way to start it out. Nice sort of like relaxed atmosphere. Everybody just got off the plane. We'll just like slowly get into it. So we took everybody there. And what were your quick impressions of that spot?
That was really cool. Definitely a cool way to kind of set the tone for the weekend. We had a couple beverages on the plane, so everybody was starting to grease the wheels and get things going.
Starting to ramp up.
Yeah, yeah. So to get there, have a really, really high quality cocktail, probably one of the best old fashions I've ever had.
Yeah, they
And
were
I
good.
typically get one everywhere I go. Cigar I had was great too. I don't know a ton about cigars, but I do enjoy them, and my brother actually picked out a few, and really, really good. I
Well, there was
enjoyed it.
one,
Great.
I remember when we sat down, there was one that he was like, he was super pumped to get, and it was the only one that they didn't have left. So, uh,
That's right. Yeah, I forgot about that.
unfortunately. But
Yeah,
so yeah, I mean that place seemed to go pretty well. You mentioned the old fashioned. It was something that I wanted to grab the last time I was there, but I've never really had one. It just sounded really good, so I was glad that I think all of you guys had one of the old fashions when you were there. So
yep.
I wanted to kind of get somebody's take on it that it had it before, but you approve?
Yeah, like I said, I typically get one everywhere I go, and it's kind of my go-to cocktail, and it was fabulous. It stands out above pretty much every other one I've had.
Nice. So after that, we went downtown, and we had to do the staple of Broadway. So I took you guys to Tootsie's. Quick impressions on Tootsie's. We have a lot of places to cover, so we're just gonna kind of skim through some of these, but you have to give what's your first impression on Tootsie's, the famous Tootsie's.
So, I mean, I think leading up to actually get out onto Broadway for the first time and see kind of what you're in for, uh, super overstimulated. Like just stuff going on everywhere, lights, music, and all that. So to finally get up and into Tootsie's and kind of knowing a little bit of the history of the place, and to get up there, definitely didn't disappoint either. It was the rooftop was cool, the vibe was cool, music was great, and really let us kick things off in a good way.
Cleanliness.
Yeah, it was as clean as I expected it to be, I guess. I don't take what you want from that.
We were
No,
just
it
joking
wasn't.
around about it. Like we had done an episode on that too, and we were just talking about how it looks in there and stuff. But so after Tootsie's, we just decided to take it down to Kid Rock's place. Like we did the walk all the way down the strip, just to like check things out as we went. But we ended up settling on Kid Rock's bar that night. Um, you know, like all of the different places, they all sort of have like their different vibe, right? So I think Kid Rock's is known a little bit more for its live music and like that type of atmosphere. You get a little bit more rock. You get country there as well, but you get a nice mix, and it's just a lot of live music on every level. You go up to the roof, you got it. Obviously, you get the main stage. So we did that. And I don't think we really didn't do too much else that night. I mean, we just kind of hung out there for the rest of the night, and then, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
From what I can remember.
Yeah, I don't even remember how long we were at Tootsie's. I feel like we were there for maybe a little over an hour, but we were
Yeah.
we were at Kid Rock's for quite a while. Just because we were having a great time. The band that was playing was great, taking requests,
Yep.
all different kinds of music, which was kind of an appeal to start the night. I love country, but I know not everybody in the group are huge country fans. So the band was great to mix it up and get everybody dancing, and just kind of a theme of the weekend. Kid Rock's, I think, kind of set the tone for that. Is you would think you get that many people together and all the drinking and everything, that you'd see fights break out or stuff like that, but everybody's just so happy, excited to be there. uh it's so easy to meet people and just talk and have a good time because everybody's there for the same
Yeah,
reason,
exactly.
just to have fun and get out.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
we met.
especially like where we're from and like all the places that we go, in the city like Boston and things like that. You tend to see some fights in certain places and stuff, but yeah,
Right,
like
yeah.
you said, like it's mostly like a really good atmosphere down there, and you don't really, I mean, we honestly, I don't think in the 3 nights that we were there, I didn't see one single like fight or anything, not even
No,
like a
not at all.
disagreement, so
No, no,
um
not at all.
yeah, great spots. So we ended it there, and then the next day we got up, just sort of hung out for a little while, but then went down to Fifth and Broadway, kind of walked around that whole area, some shops, restaurants, things like that. Ended up going to Shake Shack for lunch. I didn't last very long there. Stomach wasn't feeling too good that morning, so I left. But then after you guys had lunch, I think you went to, what was it called, Big Machine Distillery?
Yeah, so we just started walking around, kind of checking things out in the daylight, getting a better feel for the area. And as a result of that, we didn't want anything particularly loud for obvious reasons. So we were looking for a more kind of a chill vibe to hang out a little bit. And yeah, we went into the Big Machine Distillery. It was just one guy and a guitar playing, and the music was fantastic. Drinks were fantastic. We were going with, again, some of the basics, but they do all their own stuff. So their own whiskey, their own rum, their own gin, I believe they had there as well.
Nice.
Just a really, really cool vibe. There was an upstairs that wasn't open because, it was like
Just early.
11. Yeah, it was early on a Friday. So, but they had like games and stuff up there, I noticed, because that's where the bathrooms were. So they had like giant Jenga and stuff like that upstairs that, during busier times, I'm sure would be a lot of fun.
Nice.
But yeah, bartenders were really, really cool there too. Wasn't super crowded or anything.
Yep.
But yeah, cool. And not a big place, cool little vibe. Exactly what we were looking for.
Right.
And passed it later in the weekend too, and they had a full band and the place was packed.
Cool.
Yeah, really cool spot.
So so then you guys came back. I woke up from my little mid-afternoon nap, but then we all got together, and I think at that point we were almost a full group, right? We added one. I think we were only missing one more guy, right? At that point,
there was
and he ended up meeting us out later.
Yep.
So
we had 9 at that point, I think.
Yeah. So, big group, and we were taking you guys started taking scooters, didn't you, at that point when we went out that night? So,
oh, yeah. So
I think that's when the whole scooter escapade started. So you guys were just loving the fact that there were scooters that you guys could take around, and you could just you could take a picture on your phone and just jump on any scooter and just drive it and then just leave it wherever you are, which was fantastic. But so we ended up going down to Division Street, and we hung out there for a little bit, and we were looking like more for like some games and stuff. It was early, so jumped into Kung Fu Saloon. We all played some arcade games, from the 80s. That was pretty sweet. They're actually free, so like you go in there and certain games are free. Some you had to pay for, like we paid for basketball, but we were playing like NBA Jam and Blitz and things like that. So that was a good time. Then we went across the street to the distillery, and we got some food there. I think everybody pretty much got pizzas, didn't they?
A bunch of people got pizzas. I had mac and cheese.
That's right. You had the mac and cheese. It did look good. So
my brother had the hot chicken there. Really liked that.
Yeah, it was a good spot.
Yeah, the food's great.
Yep. And then so after that, just went back down the street, checked out Losers. Just a small little place, a little bit more of a local gathering there. You guys, I mean, just with the group, and our group just has fun anyway. Everybody made some friends there. Helped that, your brother's wearing a special shirt that attracted attention, and we met some other guys that were down there that they thought that they had some special shirts too. We'll leave out what the other guy had on, but no, it was fun. Everybody, again, just going back to the theme where you can pretty much go anywhere around here, and everybody is friendly and nice, and like will talk to you. Everybody's out to have a good time, and again, to me, that's one of my biggest things about being down here is the things that you don't see back up where I'm from and where you're from and everything. Like, it is what it is. Like you typically aren't going to go out with a bunch of like people. It doesn't have to be a group of guys, group of girls, whatever. It could be mixed group. It doesn't matter, but you just don't typically find up in the Northeast, like the friendly atmosphere where you don't know people. Hey, we're all going to hang out and talk and have a good time. And it's like that everywhere you go, whether it was Broadway, whether it was Division Street, it didn't really matter, so
it literally was everywhere. And Chris and I both in high school lived in Vermont. It kind of reminded me more of that. It's just like a laid back atmosphere, but obviously in a big city. I was blown away by just the hospitality throughout the weekend, and like just I guess the best way to put it is just the general vibe. Like everybody including the staff at every place we went to. I don't think anybody had a complaint on service or anything like that for the entire weekend.
No, not at all. So, but yeah, so we were down there, and then everybody wanted to kind of crank it back up a little bit. So, you know, and especially too, like the guys that weren't with us the night before, they wanted to go down and see Broadway. So obviously, we went down there again, and this time I think we basically just spent the whole night at Luke Bryan, Jason Aldean's place, because I remember the night before we were over at Kid Rock's. It's right across the street from Kid Rock's, and you know, again, like we were having a good time up on the rooftop at Kid Rock's, but then we were looking across the street and we're like, wow, that's something different over there. So it's like, again, like with the theme where, you know, all the different places have different types of atmospheres, right? So like you walk into Luke Bryan's place and you have the live music and everything like that downstairs, and then as you go up a level, it almost turns more into like a dance club type feel, and then you get up, same thing up on the roof and things like that. So yeah, so I mean, we did that basically just the rest of the night, just hung out there, and then anything to take away from that?
Yeah, that one, you kind of nailed it. But being up at Kid Rock's, it was the vibe we were looking for that night for sure. But looking across, it had more of like a dance party feel to it. And we're like, all right, once we get everybody, we'll go there and get after it a little bit harder. And we were dancing for hours on end, and it was awesome.
Yeah, it was a pretty fun time.
That's definitely the feel there. It's more of that dance party kind of vibe.
Yeah, it was. Not a big dancer myself, but it was still a pretty good time hanging out up there. So that night was, I think it was a little bit later because we had the whole party sort of show up a little bit later. So we were there almost till close, I think, at that point. And then
Yep.
the next morning, got up and we had reservations to go to Topgolf. So we got 2 bays at Topgolf. Went over there. You guys, forget. I don't think we scootered there, but you guys scootered back. So
Scootered home.
Yeah,
we did.
So did those scooters again, went and did Topgolf. And anybody that's never been to Topgolf, it's such an outstanding place. Like the way that they have this place set up, it's great, right? It's 3 levels. It's just like, it's like a driving range, except better because you've got targets, they have screens, you have games that you can play on the screens, they track your distance, they track the ball flight. And the really cool part was not everybody in our group plays golf, right? So like your brother especially, you know,
Right.
He wasn't planning on doing anything. You know, he was just going to sit there, hang out, and watch everybody. And I was like, dude, you don't need to play golf. I mean, I can't count the number of times that I've been at Topgolf and I've had golf balls whizzing by my head because people just don't know what they're doing, but they're just out there having a good time. And the cocktails start flowing and they just aren't even hitting the ball straight. Now it's bouncing. I mean, it's not dangerous. It's just, you know, it's fun. So like I'm trying to explain that to your brother and he's like, oh yeah, I'll try. And then the guy's just hitting 180-yard drives by the end of the day. Like, oh.
He's a natural.
Natural.
We had a few in the group like that. Yeah. I think we had, what was it, three or 4 in the group that didn't golf.
Yeah, I think it was 3 or 4. Yep. But everybody
and
did
yeah,
while we were there, and it was fun.
Every single person participated, and that's why I was okay doing it. And the way you can pick the different games, you can pick some where it really doesn't matter if you can just kind of get the ball down the range a little bit, you're going to score some points and have a good time.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was a blast. Yeah, everybody, even the non-golfers, had an absolute blast.
Yeah, it's just, again, it's a cool setup there, right? They got bars on all the levels, so, and their wait staff is great. You know, they're always there. You need anything, they're there to help you out. You have all those cool games to play, and then the food is actually really good there too. You know, like we had the nachos. Yeah. The nachos were really good. We had the wings were
boneless
good.
Wings were good.
Yeah.
French fries were good.
Yeah, I forget what the other group, the other table had, but I know that whatever they had, they liked too, and it was different. Pretzel bites, I remember they had those, but yeah,
I think food, they did like the chips and salsa over there. I think they had.
Yep. So I mean, overall, great experience. You know, you reserve it. The one thing that I'm gonna say, like anybody that's gonna go to the Nashville one, I've heard it's like one of the top 2 or 3 most busiest Topgolfs in the country. I had to reserve this a couple weeks ahead of time. And they do have, I mean, I don't recommend ever just walking into a Top Golf. But if you get the app, you can actually jump on a wait list. At least here in Nashville, you can. So I've done that with my family before, where you open up the app and you jump on the wait list. And usually, I mean, you could get anywhere from like 30 minutes to like 3 to 4 hours, but at least it tells you, and then it gives you like a warning and things like that. But really cool place to go. So we finished up there. We all went back. Everybody was trying to, I sort of let you guys try to lead the way that day. I didn't want to like, make an itinerary for everybody the whole time. So I figured, I did the Top Golf reservation, and I was like trying to leave it up to you guys for the rest of the day. And I think you guys ended up picking the Pinewood Social we tried to walk to, because it had like bocce ball and stuff like that. It has bowling and everything, but not really great place. I've been there before. It's actually an outstanding place to go. Just not bachelor party really ready. So especially with our group. So
yeah,
so we didn't last very long there. We were only there for like 10 minutes, which is fine. And we ended up getting like a recommendation, I think maybe from like one of the bartenders told us to go to the game terminal. So we, because we were just looking for places that like maybe play cornhole, things like that. And they said game terminal. Now, I have never been there before. So we all jumped in an Uber. We went over there, and it's like a ton of like arcade games on the inside. They've got tables, bars. It's a really interesting mix of people. You've got kids there. You've got adults. It's really a huge, huge mix. Then you go outside, and they had like 5 cornhole stations. They had shuffleboard. They had almost like beer pong, where they had the big trash can buckets with volleyball, like you're playing beer pong. But yeah, and it's set up like they have a bunch of high top tables. They've got like a couple lounge areas and things like that. So we ended up spending like 3 hours or something there. Like we ended up.
Yeah, we were there for a while.
We set up like our own cornhole tournament. Did that, which I remembered afterwards. Nobody ever paid up to the winner, but so everybody owes the winners.
Fair point.
Yep. if they feel like claiming, just send everybody a Venmo. So, but yeah, no, that was a really good time. I know that I was absolutely maxed out at that point. You guys still had another night left in you. I completely cashed out. I had things that I had to do the next day. So I was like, I knew I was not going to stay out for an entire night. So after we got back from there, I actually left. And then what I heard was that you guys went to the stage.
We went to Martin's Barbecue for dinner first.
Oh, that's right. Yep, I did tell you to go there because, and like I was saying to you guys, is Martin's outstanding barbecue. We like where I live in Nolensville, the original right down the road from me, and I've had it a couple of times already. It's outstanding. So they also have the one downtown. So you guys went and checked that out. So what'd you think of that, real quick?
That place was really cool. We ended up getting lucky when we walked in. There was a little bit of a line, which we expected. It's dinner time on a Saturday night. But you would walk up and order at the counter and then go sit at a table or whatever. But they do full service at the bar, and there happened to be 8 seats available at the bar that we were all able to grab.
Perfect.
All in a row, which was just baffling.
Yep. It just worked out.
So we actually got the full service side of it. And the food was absolutely phenomenal.
Nice.
I saw everything from pulled pork to wings, mac and cheese, all of the barbecue staples.
Yep.
Everybody absolutely loved the food.
Awesome.
Not a single complaint across the board.
I've
Hard
never
to do
heard
with 8 people with different tastes.
Yeah, absolutely. I've never heard a complaint about that place at all. So, they may be the focus of a future episode all on their own. So,
yeah, definitely. It was crazy place because we heard music, but it was through speakers, which was like the first time the entire time we
didn't have it live Nashville. right in your face.
And then we realized upstairs was the band, and they were just feeding the music through the speakers to
nice.
Downstairs. And it was awesome. We went up and checked it out real quick. Same thing. They had like darts and stuff upstairs. The place is absolutely enormous. We had no idea because when you sit in the main little area, it looks just like a small walk-up eatery. But then you go upstairs and it's just a whole nother floor and a whole different experience up there.
Cool. So then you guys went out. I know you
Yes.
guys were out all night, but just like you were the first couple nights. So the first place was the stage, I think you said, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So
We went to
went
the
there.
stage from there.
And then I don't remember, I don't think you remember either the name of the bar, but then you guys all went to a place. They had like the mechanical bull and things like that.
Yeah, it was a bit late in the evening at that point, so I don't recall what it was called, but yeah, it's cool. They had karaoke and a mechanical bull. Um, and shout out to the guy that was running the mechanical bull.
Knew
He
what
was
he
a
was doing.
master of his
Yeah.
craft, I guess is what I'll say. But yeah, that place was really, really cool. At that point, we were kind of musiced out, so to have karaoke at a reasonable decibel, and then the mechanical bull as entertainment, and really, really well priced drinks and everything. We ended up just finishing off our night there.
Nice. Well, that's cool. And then I know that, like I had said, I had gone home that afternoon, left you guys, spent a night in my own bed, which was very welcomed um, after the first two nights. So met up with you guys the next. I know it was an early checkout, like 10 a.m., which I'm sure was not easy to do, but I heard you guys made it out just in time, so that's good. And then we just met up at a cafe downtown. Just recap the whole weekend for the next couple of hours, and then off to the airport. I'm sure you got a little bit of sleep,
Not on the plane, but yeah, yeah,
so that's
yeah.
good.
It was good.
I'm
Yeah, it was
sure
good.
I'm sure you're probably. I mean, even like me, I've now been home 2 nights, and I'm still trying to catch up from the first couple of nights. But I'm sure I'm sure you'll be there soon. So,
Yeah,
so
been a long time.
overall, what do you think? How was the whole thing, whole experience? Do you recommend it? Would you come back to Nashville just for regular, to visit? What do you think?
Um, I guess the best way to put it is we had three guys in the group that are not currently married. That we're all highly encouraged to get married in the near future. That we'll be going back for if we stagger it out every 12 to 18 months, we'll be there. A
Yeah,
couple times,
perfect.
like every other year for the next few years. Yeah, it was. Like I said at the beginning, I went in with pretty high expectations given everything I had read and heard from other people, and blew it away. I've been to Vegas for bachelor parties. I've been to Atlantic City, Boston, all over, all different kinds of vibes. And I would hands down take Nashville over any one of them. I can't wait to go back. Can't wait to come down and visit.
A
But
little
yeah,
bit more of a normal visit next time.
yeah, more of a yeah. Oof.
Yeah,
Uh,
take it a
but
little bit easier.
but yeah, it hit on. I guess regardless of what you're looking for, you can find it there, which was cool. When we wanted a little more of a chill vibe, we were able to find places that have that. And if you're looking to get after it a little more, there was places for that. And just people everywhere were awesome. The food was great, start to finish. I don't think I heard a single complaint about anything we ate anywhere we ate,
No, the
other
food's
than the
definitely good
chicken
here.
nuggets. Other than the chicken nuggets, you couldn't finish at Shake Shack.
Well,
But that
no,
was because of the quality of the food.
that wasn't the quality of the food at Shake Shack. That was the quality of the drinks the night before is what that was. So,
Yeah,
but that's fine.
and then everybody we met there, were there for birthday parties, bachelor parties, couple divorce parties, which is something I had never heard of. Uh, but
Any reason to party here.
yeah, any
People will
reason
take any
to
reason to
party,
come down here.
people were there for it, and you can find what you're looking for in some form or fashion. When we wanted to get a little crazy, we were able to find that. When we wanted to kind of mellow out, we were able to find that. And I don't think I don't think I heard a single complaint from anyone on anything the entire time we were there.
No, me either. But yeah, I mean, first of all, I mean, obviously, I'm super glad that you enjoyed it. That was obviously the main reason of even bringing it up and trying to have you guys come down here. Just having been here before, I knew that. Yeah, I mean, it's just a great place. Period. I don't have a complaint about being here at all, about anything. I'm moving here
Right.
and things like that, and it's just been outstanding. So I knew you guys would love it. I know almost all of you anyway. So I knew what we were in for. It was a good time. But yeah, I mean, if you don't have anything else to add, you have anything?
No, I think we pretty well covered all the bases and recapped everything that happened
Yeah.
pretty much start to finish. So
Yeah, I mean, it was a good time. You know, we did hit up a lot of different places. You know, met a lot of people. Like the one thing again, bachelorette parties and bachelor parties. I mean, I would have to say we probably
everywhere.
saw what 40 to 50 bachelorette parties in the 3 days, something like that. Yeah.
At least, if not more.
I mean, you see them on the street in those pedal buses, you know, out at the bars, like everywhere that you go. So, I mean, obviously, it's the number one destination for that. So, but yeah, hey, thanks for doing this with me, man. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Had
Thanks
a
for having
great
me.
time. It was good seeing you and seeing everybody, everybody that came down. So, I'm looking
Yeah, same.
forward to the wedding and getting to see Maria. So have to give Maria a shout out. You know,
Have to
you
give
have
Maria the
to.
shout out. Yeah, she'll
So
appreciate that.
yeah, but no, we can't wait. Me and Ash are looking forward to it, and we can't wait to get up to Chicago and celebrate in about a month now. So
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, it's good seeing you, man, and thanks for
Same,
doing
same.
this. And that's all we got for this episode. I know it was a little bit lengthy, but it was a 3-day weekend, so
Lot to cover.
it was needed. So. All right, everybody, I appreciate it, and I will talk to you guys again next week.
Download our episodes on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Subscribe on YouTube, follow us on Facebook, and follow us on Instagram at Nashville Scoop Podcast. I'm at The Nashville Realtor, and Craig is at Real Estate Rockstar.